What's up, guys? Still the final day of the majors, and we are still waiting for the grand final to start, OG versus Secret. And I did get the chance to kind of mop up somebody special that was walking past our booth, and we got him into our crosshairs for this interview. And he was gracious enough and kind enough to accept. So S4, thanks so much for coming on here. You've been hanging out a lot, chilling with all the teams and just enjoying the event itself. I do want to take a few moments time to ask you about the first few rounds of the lower bracket. First game where you went out, you beat Cloud9, and then virtus.pro took you out 2-0. Can you talk a bit about just, not specifically about the games, but the mood in general on the team throughout all of the games? Has it been all right?
Yeah, I'm starting from the lower bracket versus Cloud9. We know if we lose one game, we're out of the tournament. So obviously we're gonna play very safe in the games. So that's what we did. We played maybe more safe than we should have, but it worked out.
One thing that I find very interesting is that you have pretty much the old winning constellation except for one player. So obviously the big win of an international must, in my mind, really bring together the group. How have you guys been able to have your new member kind of profit off of that collective experience?
I'm not sure what you meant with the question.
Oh, that's fine. Is there anything different about the way that you treat and try to give experience to your new team member?
Yeah, but also you can't live in the past, you know. So everything that happened in the past, you can't force that into the new player. So you just have to let them grow as a player themselves. Most of it, because if you just treat them as your old player, they're never gonna grow into something better, you know.
Oh, absolutely, that sounds very reasonable. So let's go to the Virtus Pro match. It was a 2-0. Were you happy with the drafts to begin with? Were you happy with the heroes you got?
Yeah, I was very happy with at least game one. I was very happy with the draft, but there were some issues that happened in that game.
How would you describe the way that Virtus Pro, what was their in-game strategy against you as it developed in game one, for example?
In game one, there was a lot of pressure they put on, but there was a bug in the game in game one. I was playing Brewmaster, yeah, so it messed up my game completely. So I couldn't have any impact in that game. So it was very frustrating. I think we paused the game in 20 minutes in, and we tried to fix it, but it was like a bug for that day. It was a bug in the patch, like some minor patch, so you couldn't fix it really. It was fixed the day after. I had to endure it and just play, you know.
And what was the bug? Like, what were you not able to do?
So when we play Brewmaster and you click a split, your ultimate, and then you're supposed to have control of your ultimate, but then you don't have control over anything. It just gives you the hero itself. So you have to like drag all the pandas, and then the order of the pandas are wrong also. So it was very messed up when I'm used to just throw out my spells right away, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's now that you talk about it, that was one of the debates as well, because when you're a player, you play the hero so often, you're just used to a certain mechanical order, so that must have messed a lot of things up. Game two, what do you remember about this game? Were you happy with the draft there as well? And can you talk a bit about how you remember the game kind of progressing?
Yeah, I wasn't very happy with the draft. I liked the start of the draft, but then we drafted like some Queen of Pain, and then we put it on the support, which was a mistake, I think. We should have put it mid and drafted another support. Then the game would have looked way better than it did in the early game.
Okay, now you see a lot of strong or very high profile, high skill games. Can you give us your thoughts about the series that OG just played against EG?
I didn't really catch all of the games. I catched the game 3, but I noticed that OG plays. They play a style where they benefit from the laning way more than EG, and that's where I think they won over them.
Okay. When you see teams like EG and Secret and of course OG as well play and draft, are there any things that you also learn just by watching, or is it in your mind already clear what you need to do?
There's some things you learn, but for example, OG, we've been playing a lot against them because we're from Europe, both of us, Alliance and OG, and I noticed that other teams actually don't know how to draft against this team, but we kind of know how to do it. So sometimes they get these like very inba heroes that they love playing when they play against these Chinese teams and stuff. So it's pretty fun to watch.
All right. And how is it for you as a, in your position on the team, as you know that a lot of people have high expectations, and you have, of course, high expectations, but it just isn't really coming together. Could you perhaps shed a bit of light on what's going on inside your head during these times?
I mean, for my team in this tournament, I felt like we didn't actually get to start playing our style. So we'll just accept it and go to the next tournament and do our best.
Okay. Now, to slowly wrap this up, I did want to ask you about one thing that, as I mentioned yesterday in an interview, and it was very interesting. It was in regards to the end time in Secret, and I said to try and keep positive. What's one thing that you wish you could have done differently, or you wish the team would have done differently? And he said that he wished he would have stood more by your side, and kind of because you took a lot of the blame in the way those things went down. Zai. Yeah, he said he would have liked to kind of comfort you a little bit more and be by your side some more. Obviously, this being a very dark time also for a lot of fans, could you perhaps, as far as you want, just shed some information on how that happened?
Well, I think what I regretted the most in this team is that I didn't actually, yeah, while I was the captain, I didn't try to bond the team together. Like, so we didn't. It didn't feel like a team, you know. We just, when we got to the matches, we just played. But if we actually bonded together, we could easily communicate our ideas with each other easier. That's what I regretted the most out of that team.
All right, man. I don't want to take up much more of your time. I want to thank you very much for taking it in the first place. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching as well. And we are waiting patiently for the grand final to start, and hope you guys are looking forward to that. So I'll see you soon. Goodbye.